Hi everyone, my name is Sydney and today we're going to be discussing Homebody by Rupi Kaur, and this is her newest book that recently came out. I loved it. Of course I loved it because I love Rupi so much. I have reviews on her other two books, Milk and Honey and The Sun and Her Flowers. This is what I prepared earlier. They're here already. Look at them, they're so cute. I love these poetry books because I look at them and I just see so much in them. So much of past Sid and where I am now, and it's really beautiful. I honestly feel like I've grown with these books, and I don't say that about a lot of books that I've read. I think Rupi's books will forever hold a space in my heart that's just filled with this gratitude in regards to where I am today and how I've blossomed, how I've learnt from my experiences. This morning I watched my reviews on these two books, and it was just so interesting because past Sid didn't know what was coming, and it was really beautiful to look back on because I was looking at my past self like, I'm really proud of you. The things you were worrying about in, for example, this video. It's all gonna be G, girl. It's all gonna be G. I read this book after my first breakup, and of course it was really freaking hard. I didn't really know how to deal with the ones that don't work. We've all been there. We've all been there. It was really nice to rewatch because I was saying to myself that Sid, that boy was not worth it, and you'll find someone, you found someone who is. So I love Milk and Honey, and also The Sun and Her Flowers. Rewatching this review, I just feel like I'm the cheesiest person ever, but I love it because I can be such a cheeseball, or a cheeseburger as my boyfriend likes to call me. This book is definitely, I think, my favorite of the three. I just love the messages within here, which are all about self-love, preaching that, being reminded towards the things you're grateful for. I also really love this book because it's the biggest one, and that's what I felt like was missing from Homebody. I wanted more. But what I'm trying to say is I feel like I've grown with these books and they all came at the right time. So what is this book about for those of you who haven't read it? It is all about this disconnection Rupi has between her mind and her body. It's broken up into 4 sections. We have mind, heart, rest, awake. My 2 favorites were the mind and rest sections. I really enjoyed those out of the 4. For me, this book just was incredibly relatable in regards to the anxiety I have been feeling for the last 2 or 3 months, or I guess you could say this whole year. Overall, I thought this book was brutal in some parts because, as a little disclaimer, Rupi goes into some past trauma, which for some people might be a bit too much. There is a lot in here that speaks truth, the raw truth, which can hurt. And this book is basically just about how we can rise above mental health issues. So yeah, I want to go into my favorite poems from this book because I'm really excited to share them with you. But if you haven't read this book, please go read it, come back, and then we can talk. And I just want to say, I hate saying this. You'll notice I've never said this before. If you're already enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to, you don't have to, don't feel pressured or anything. But yeah, I'd love for you to follow along my journey with different kinds of books if you want to. But yeah. Anyway, let's go into the spoilery section because I think it's time. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. So this book hit hard straight away. The first poem. I'm in the darkest room of my life, and I automatically read this and went because this section is about her mind, and I can't tell you just how much I've been dealing with anxiety lately. Where I live, it's as if life is almost normal, doing different things, seeing different people. Sometimes it can drain energy. I have been feeling this way in regards to being confused and uncertain about what's going to happen. You can't control anything. You can't control your future. So it's super important to be present with yourself. I notice myself going in and out because I have these fears and they come out at different times. So it just makes sense because of everything that's been going on, trying to find your place in society with this new normal that we're in. But also upon entering this book, Rupi really goes into some deep topics. On page 23, I want to live. I'm just afraid I won't measure up to the idea people have of me in their heads. I'm afraid of getting older, scared I'll never write anything worth reading again, that I'll disappoint the people who are counting on me, that I'll never learn how to be happy, that I'll be broke again one day, that my parents will die and I'll be alone in the end. I read this book in one sitting last night, and I read this page and it really ran true because there are fears that we all have And I think my biggest fear is losing the people I love, and just this overall uncertainty towards being successful and being a part of a future that is bright. This book is so mature, and I really love that about it because I feel like I've matured incredibly. This was beautiful on page 29. You lose everything when you don't love yourself, and gain everything when you do. I love that because it really is about prioritizing yourself, putting yourself first. I think the phrase, what you put out is what you receive, really runs true, and I personally think that it's so accurate. So one of my favorite poems in this book was on page 35. Reading this just felt like an absolute dream. List of things to heal your mood. 1. Cry it, walk it, ride it, scream it, dance it out of your body. 2. If after all that you're still spiraling out of control, ask yourself if sinking into the mud is worth it. 3. The answer is no. 4. The answer is breathe. 5. Sip tea and feel your nervous system settle. 6. You are the hero of your life. 7. This feeling doesn't have power over you. 8. The universe has prepared you to handle this. 9. No matter how dark it gets, the light is always on its way. 10. You are the light. 11. Walk yourself back to where the love lives. I literally sat there last night and reread this page maybe like 4 times, because when you feel down, you need reminders to lift you back up, you know, and sometimes it can be hard, which is why it's beautiful to have those around you who can help. But the way that you're able to do that is so beautiful within its own journey. You are the person that enables change to happen. You are the person that enables growth to happen. So it's up to you to make changes in your life. This was another favorite of mine on page 40. I read this, read the last line and went, holy fuck, went back and reread it. I wrote in my notes, mega oofed in capital letters. Most of my life has been spent with the two of us touching, skin to skin, our nights together, and sometimes our days. You carried me when my limbs refused to, when I was so sick I could not move. Not once did you tire of my weight, not once did you complain. You've witnessed all my dreams, my sex, my writing, my weeping, every vulnerable act of my life has been with you. The two of us knee-deep in laughter, and when I've been a fool to trust a fool, made love on top of you, left for days only to return empty-handed, you always took me back. When sleep abandoned me, we lay awake together. You are the embrace of my life, my confessional, my altar. I went from girl to woman on top of you, and in the end it will be you, old friend, delivering me to death well rested. There is no place more intimate than a bed. I don't know when you read this if you felt the same way, but it fills me with shivers. Because I really see all versions of myself. I see my past, I see my present in this poem, and it's all there. And she's talking about a bed. So this is from the next section, Heart, on page 58. If you're waiting for them to make you feel like you're enough, you'll be waiting a long time. And I really love this because it's all about self-love, self-worth, honoring yourself and prioritizing yourself above others. I finally feel like I'm in an amazing place where I don't want to put up with bullshit anymore. I won't just allow things to happen and wipe them under the carpet. Life is all about the journey. We all make mistakes. So sometimes you just have to explain that mistake to someone in order for them to go, oh shit, true, so they can change themselves, or they can change how they treat you, how they treat others, because in a way they might be projecting how they're treating themselves. It's important to go into things knowing that there are so many factors that make up a person, that make up you as a person. So when someone is angry at you, they might not actually be angry at you. Things can seem like an illusion on face value. So we just really have to assess things and not take things to heart, but also help others grow whilst we're growing ourselves. And we'll always be growing. That's the biggest message. There's nothing to lose. There's just so much to gain. So the next poems that I'll be reading, I really enjoyed. Page 69. Nothing can replace how the women in my life make me feel. And I love, 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 love the illustration with it. The women in my life mean so, so much to me. I feel very grateful that I have been able to see my friends in person and to see them and hug them and feel the love that it's as if there hasn't been any time between us just fills me with this amount of joy, because I am so damn grateful for these women in my life who remind me of myself. I see myself in them, but I see them. I feel like I'm exhaling so much. I feel like I'm letting go of so much inner pain that has, I guess, I've held on to this year because of I can't truly live, so I'm here. And now that we are able to live a little, I'm like, this year has been like such a whirlwind of different things. I'm so grateful for the things I have, and to be reminded towards the things around me, the people who love me, to be able to see them and feel their love, and to be in love, and I just really miss that, you know, and that's across the board. I think, wow, I'm really crying, sorry guys. I just really, I know across the board everyone is missing that, you know. I feel for everyone, and I think if you're still in this place of, you know, being in lockdown or feeling unsure about things happening, you know, in your life or around you, just know that it's going to be okay, that you're loved, you're supported. That's really the phrase of today's video. There are better, bigger things coming. Sorry that I'm actually, you know what, I shouldn't say I'm sorry. I need to stop saying I'm sorry. I say that all the fucking time, and I'm reminded of it all the time. Instead, I want to say thank you for holding this space with me. Thank you for listening. Stop making me cry all over again. Jesus Christ. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being there. Woofy. Alright, let's move on. I need to stop. I might cry again. We'll see. Okay, this was my favorite poem in the entire book. So this is on page 73. It's very simple, but fucking beautiful. Masturbation is meditation. This is so beautiful. I cannot say enough how much of an advocate I am towards self-pleasure, self-love. Masturbation is beautiful. Stop shaming women for it. Stop shaming. We need to explore ourselves, this body that we have, feel it, understand it. Oh, it also had a really beautiful illustration as well. So we're now in the rest section, and we open up on this small little poem she has on page 85. There are years in me that have not slept. And that's just depressing. It's just depressing. I have spent so much of my own time and energy looking at illusions and believing them, falling for them, which is anxiety. And reading that was like, why am I wasting away on these things? They're not real. What's real is our presence, our present moment. So I really missed Rupi's big poem. So I'm really grateful that we got this one on page 88. This was all about productivity and anxiety. I have this productivity anxiety that everyone else is working harder than me, and I'm going to be left behind because I'm not working fast enough, long enough, and I'm wasting my time. I don't sit down to have breakfast. I take it to go. I call my mother when I'm free, otherwise it takes too long to have a conversation. I put off everything that won't bring me closer to my dreams, as if the things I'm putting off are not the dream themselves. Isn't the dream that I have a mother to call and a table to eat breakfast at? Instead, I'm lost in the sick need to optimize every hour of my day so I'm improving in some way, making money in some way, advancing my career in some way, because that's what it takes to be successful, right? I excavate my life, package it up, sell it to the world, and when they ask for more, I dig through bones trying to write poems. Capitalism got inside my head and made me think my only value is how much I produce for people to consume. Capitalism got inside my head and made me think I am of worth as long as I am working. I learned impatience from it. I learned self-doubt from it. Learned to plant seeds in the ground and expect flowers the next day. But magic doesn't work like that. Magic doesn't happen because I figured out how to pack more work in a day. Magic moves by the laws of nature, and nature has its own clock. Magic happens when we play, when we escape, daydream, and imagine. That's where everything with the power to fulfill us is waiting on its knees for us. I love this on page 100. Our elders are not disposable. I love this book because it's so on point, it's brutal, and it's everlasting on the mind. On page 101, the land sprawled its limbs and said, "Put your feet up." The tree said, "We will give you life." The air said, "Breathe me in." The earth said, "Take care of what takes care of you." And we turned our backs on all of them. Betrayal. This is so nice. On page 152. Today I saw myself for the first time when I dusted off the mirror of my mind, and the woman looking back took my breath away. Who was this beautiful beastling, this extra celestial earthling? I touched my face, and my reflection touched the woman of my dreams. All her gorgeous smirking back at me, my knees surrendered to the earth as I wept and sighed at how I'd gone my whole life being myself, but not seeing myself. Spent decades living inside my body, never left it once, yet managed to miss all its miracles. Isn't it funny how you can occupy a space without being in touch with it? How it took so long for me to open the eyes of my eyes, embrace the heart of my heart, kiss the soles of my swollen feet, and hear them whisper, "Thank you, thank you, thank you for noticing." When I did my meditation yesterday, I heard people in the background saying thank you to each other. One man went, "Thank you," and then the other one said, "Thank you." I heard it and just started saying it like a mantra in my mind. Thank you. It was really nice. I think it's important to look at the two words thank you and identify what they mean for you, because there's so much to be thankful for. There's so much to be grateful for. So I'm going to end this book on another favorite poem of mine on page 178. You are a soul, a world, a portal, a spirit. You are never alone. You are organs and blood and flesh and muscle, a colony of miracles weaving into each other. This is so beautiful to me because the fact that we're living, the fact that we're here today, being, is a miracle. It's magic, and we forget what magic is, that we're literally within a realm that is magic itself. So yeah, I really love this book. I think my only issue with it was I wish it was longer because I wanted more. It was everything I needed. I feel like this book is such a mirror reflecting myself back at me, and I really loved every moment of it. I loved how mature it was, and just overall the messages within this book. If you had some favorite poems from this book, please feel free to write the page numbers down below. I'll see you guys in my next video as usual. Bye.